Long time since I've done this, but we're gonna give this another shot because I screwed up so much throughout the last playthrough. Now, I did get to the official end of the game, but there were so many screw-ups, especially early in the game, that the Brits were able to conquer most of the map. And that does not appear to be what we should be doing. I'm not positive I'm going to make it through the whole game. If I continue to be unable to grasp the roles, I see no point in it if I continue flubbing it up for whatever reason. I mean, it just doesn't matter. It's kind of a shame because there's a couple of other games I wish I had done this with at the moment at which I was done playing them. One is Triumph of Chaos, although Herr Doctor kind of dissuaded me from giving it another shot. I think he was tired of me torturing his game. Another one was the Axis Empires. I screwed up some things in it, there's no question, in the Axis Empires game. But I feel like I had a fair grasp of the rules through most of the play. Although the support units always kind of were a difficult thing to get a grasp of what I should be doing with them. But I felt like there was more of the game I wanted to explore. And I've just gotten further and further away from being willing to explore a game multiple times. So in a way, I'm kind of glad, you know, in some sense, what is looming on the horizon for, and that I've promised, is perhaps part of what made me drag my feet with playing this, and that may be a negative factor, and it also may be why I'm willing to come back and play it again, and give this another shot, because my feeling is if I can't cope with this, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to cope with what I intend, if it's a matter of just my focus at this moment or whatever. Anyway, although I do have intentions to try to delve into that deeply enough that at least when I do the big playthrough, if I may be doing some of the smaller screwed up stuff on video, but once I do the big playthrough, it should be somewhat familiar to me. But this game, there's no excuse for why I've been having so much trouble, except that I think the rulebook just doesn't mesh with my way of trying to find information while I play. Lack of references into different areas where I'd expect them. So for example, when I look up, hey, what do these squares do? I don't find that information when I look at the squares. I have to dig through the rules to find these individual instances where they have an effect, which means I have to vaguely remember that I've got something wrong, but I also have been kind of neglectful of following things. Anyway, this time we're gonna give it another shot and try to remember the locational, the divisional locations. One thing that I don't understand, every division has this little color marker here, which I guess is core segmentation, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on play. And it's kind of a shame because that's a lot more visible, although not if you're colorblind, than trying to read these numbers, which I really have to zoom in to see. The big numbers are easy, but it's hard for me to tell what division something's part of. So and it can be kind of a pain in the ass to keep your divisions together as they begin their advances. All right, yeah, and that is of importance to the game. So we've got everything set. We've got these suckers back to 5 victory points. The Brits trying to avoid getting stymied by the Hague roll before the game ends, trying to get our reinforcements, Cav and otherwise. I think all the reinforcements are the horsey spaces. It's just other units come in with them, and let's see where we get. Well, let's start things off with that opening barrage. Both the Brit guns are used up for this, and that's 1, 3, 9. Let's see, 1, 3, 9, 10. And H everywhere we face the Brits. Okay, near the Brits. So here we're over 3 units. Strangely, it seems, let me make sure. We're going to check every damn little thing in the game now, huh? I don't know. But I haven't done this in a long time. German garrisons count. Okay. What I was going to say is it seems like the garrison counts against you, even though it's kind of a piece of shit, but you can absorb losses in it. So, we have 7, 8, 9 versus, looks like 4. It's clear weather on the first turn automatic. Let's try to get back to where we were in the rulebook. We roll 2 dice for each guy. Right? I don't know. This is what I think, but I'm going to check every damn roll and get this game right? And then I obviously can't be thinking strategy, but it wasn't really helping when I was cheating tremendously. So we find it again. We find the barrage. And yes. Oh, it's a single die. But the defender uses a DT, whatever. That's not a DR. Yep, okay, so it's a single die for this and a double die. This is actually the opposite of what I thought. So what were our numbers again? And you'd think that they would tell you what kind of dice to roll. Here, right? No dice listed? None? Nowhere to tell you what die? Over here on the assault, it doesn't tell you the type of die, does it? Nope. Doesn't tell you the type of dice to roll. All very helpful, right? You're trying to learn the game or remember it, and it's not on your player aid. A player aid that doesn't give you significant amounts of information, you know, if it leaves significant amounts off, it certainly gives significant amounts, but if it leaves significant pieces off, in some ways it's more likely to cause flaws than looking up every damn rule yourself, because you know it's useless. You know you won't remember those things. Okay, what are we? +4 here and +9 for the Brits, which is a 5-point difference, 7. That's 3 hits, and again, the casualties are different in terms of the casualty points assignment between barrage and the assault casualty points. That's a tough thing to remember. So what is my number again? 7. I think we were at 9 to 4 is +5. So 5 and 2 is 7. I do 3 hits. Well, 3 hits allows me to exhaust 2 units or just destroy my stupid garrison. We'll work down. Same thing. These are all going to be... Wait. Hindenburg line. We take less losses. You think that +4 could be a +5? Then because it's sort of in between. All right, so there's my 2 losses. All right, here. Yeah. Same thing. +5. +4.5, how about? So we've got 10.5. That means we do 7 hits. 7 hits. 2. Wait a minute. It's 4 points to hit infantry, cav, garrisons, tanks are more expensive. Okay. What's our number again? 10.5, 7, something like that. So here we have a problem, which is that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll try to keep those open, but this looks like we're going to get a breakthrough, a penetration of some sort, possibly. Of course, the advantage here is these guys are kind of in an exposed position if the Brits cut through there. So that may not be the best place for an attack to start. Over here, 9. Did we cheat here? What was that 7.5 shit? Why did that happen? 9. I don't know what happened here. Let me recount. I hate counting, and this game is forcing me to count and forcing me to, you know, spend all my mental effort on that as well as remembering rules. Okay. And yeah, I'm getting pissed at this point. So our number was 9 minus 4.5. I have no fucking clue. We were at 9. There's 4 here. That means plus 5. 11 to 3 is 8. Make it 7. We did it right, I think. Over here, same difference. I don't remember what the number is, though. It's 9 to 4.5. Okay, so 4.5. 8.5 to 2. Sounds like 6 hits here. 2. That's not as much. 4, 6. Kill the garrisons, because the garrisons suck. And they come back for free. Here, same shit. 4.5, 5.5, I don't remember. Yeah, 4.5. Okay, so we do 4.5 hits. So that goes to 4. There's 4. Now, do we really want to take these, though? Or would we rather do this? This is kind of advantageous. It gets us more hits left, because on the assault table, eliminating units is 2 CPs. Plus, it adds to my defensive value. So I think this is wise to do this. And then the final one is here. Also plus 4, but here we're not more than 3 enemy units. So we're only at plus 2.5, I guess, for the Brits. 6.5, we do 2 hits. 2.5 hits. And that's a unit. Yay, we got through something. Okay. Anything else on this turn 20? Or November 20 turn that we have here? The game lasts as long as it goes. There'll be no sunset die roll for the weather change, the operational sectors, the cav confusion, and the British get a better roll. So we'll start with the next British turn, and I need a break. What I know from the last game, I want to gather a whole bunch of British troops in Zone I, and I get that by triggering areas 20 and 19, which are over here. Screw this one. It's okay if we do it, but we don't really have to. This is the important one because we can get a huge force starting to punch its way this way, where the Germans don't have much protection. So, we have to activate I to get those forces, though, because nothing else is going to get in here. Here it's 6, 29, and 20, and 6 and 20 are here. 12 can go into here. So, this is going to be our main assault zone. We have our gun power. We have our airplane. We get to use them all. And I'm going to fan out and try to hit where I can, but 6 will be assaulting into here. I'm not decided yet, but I gotta put a tank with that. I don't want to use more than 1 tank per attack in general, but I may. The reason I don't want to is that all tanks become fatigued, so you only get 1 area with the tanks, but you get your overruns that way. 12 and 20 this way with a tank. Okay. If I don't send my other tanks, they become something of a reserve. Let's look at what my numbers are. 6, 7, 8, 9. Definitely putting a rolling barrage in here because I want the breakthrough if I can get it. I don't know if I'm as likely to get it here because we have to do 3, 6, 3, 6, 7, 8 casualties to break through there. Do I have 29? I do not have 29 until later to get into here. So what did I say? I said something. 3, 6, 7, 8 hits. To have 8 hits happen, I want to be around a +8. I don't know if I'm going to get there. Okay, over here, let's see what we're going to be at. 6, 7, 8, 9 to 4.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. Now what were we at? We're at 6, 7, 8, 9. Facing 10.5. So I need like 2 of these to kind of get myself up there in the equal zone. And I probably want more if I want to actually cause casualties. I'm going to need 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 casualties. Well, I don't have that much firepower. I have a total of 4 I can throw in. So we'll throw that in and hope for a good roll. Going into here. I want the weight of an armored unit. So I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't get everything because I got 2 divisions going in there. 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9.5. 11 to 9.5. I'm up a couple. 6 more would get me that breakthrough that I want. I can throw that much in because I have a lot of artillery here. I can only throw in as much as I have infantry, which I've cheated here. I threw in 1 too many, so I'm only sending 3 infantry in here. I'm going to only throw 5 in here. I'm going to hope for the best. These odds aren't great, but we'll see what they do. I could throw more armor in. Do I need more? I get 1 more tank in zone I there. Let's throw another tank in each of these. That'll improve my odds a little bit. Okay, so here 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll worry about movement in a bit. 11, 12, 13, 14. To 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. At like 14 to 10.5 sounds like I'm at 3.5. And it's 2 dice versus 2 dice. Well, that's not very good. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I think it is. So I've got like plus 3.5 here. Okay, that gets me to 6.5 to 4. I only do 2 casualties. All my tanks are fatigued. Let's put my plane back. Get this crap out of the way. And yes, I did not save more artillery, so I couldn't actually launch the follow-up even if I had it. Crap. But I'm too far away to launch it. So here's the problem. My rolling barrage got me in here for 2. I can't go in here, can I? So I wasted a rolling barrage. I wasted trying to do a breakthrough because I can only place those artillery within 1, if I recall correctly, because the other kind of artillery can be placed within 2. Let's see. Am I right? See if I can remember. Okay, it doesn't say here. Maybe it says somewhere. Hurricane barrages. 2 areas away. Rolling in direct support in the active or adjacent. Well, so we screwed up and wasted some ammo. And we did it here too, because we're not going to have the points to move in here. Because it costs us 2 to go in here because we used the rolling barrage. But it costs us 4 to go in here, if I recall correctly. I'm not sure if garrisons count as real units. So we looked that up. This is how you play the game. You're constantly paging through the rules so that you don't screw everything up because you can't remember what they are. And they're not nicely placed on... Well, let's look. Maybe I'm lying. Nope, movement costs. Well, it says enemy unit, but we're not sure we trust that, right? Because there have been some places where it's not quite trustworthy. So, is there movement rules? Well, not exactly. There are assault activation rules, which have their own movement. They may move 10. Okay, oh, there are movement rules. Let's look. We will read the entire rules every time we do something, won't we? Because it's the only way we can get things right. I see no exemption for garrison units, but maybe over here in the garrison section there's an exemption. Again, remember, they don't always put the notes in place. It doesn't appear to have any statement there. So, we're attacking here, and we wasted another ammo. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, to 4.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5. 14 to 9.5. Sounds like 5, 4.5 to me. Probably miscalculated one of the other ones. Only plus 4.5. Now we will be able to break through into here, which is key, except none of our units can move into there. Ha ha! Okay, so I said 4.5, that gives us an 11. That's going to be 7 hits. 7 hits doesn't quite kill everything. 3, 6, 7 would work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think we'll take a retreat. Since we can't get into here, do we want to push there? I think so. And we have some destroyed German units. All right. And the Brits lose the rest of their artillery. They're out of play, essentially, for the rest of the turn. All their tanks tired here. We failed to get anything, and now our assaults are going to be those limited value assaults where we don't have all the artillery value coming into play. And we're on the Germans, and since we can't flip this, there's no whose turn is it. We use the dice to record that. That's the one thing, because before I was flipping it all the time. All wrong. That's the advantage marker. Remembering whose action it is, well, it's not too hard, but it would be kind of cool. Yeah, they can't do that. I was going to say, it would be kind of cool if they differentiated odd and even, showing advantage turn, non-advantage turn. Well, but they can't do that with a flag or something. It would have to be like with a little A or something like that there, just to help remind you whose turn it's going to be. The Germans in the first turn, I have one reserve, really. I have these forces up here in Cambrai. I can't move any of these garrison markers or anything like them around. And my other forces are all holding sectors of the front. Now, I might decide that these guys could cross over to the sugar factory. Oh! Brits went. Let's blow some bridges. We might as well blow this if we can. Now, we look at the bridge demolition, and this table's pretty good. 3 for a free area. Oh, I don't remember which is the Canal du Nord. Alright, so we gotta look up the special rules. I think for the 20th, I think the Cav reinforcements. No, the Hague rules. Those are the only place where it tells me, where it gives me the indication of which is. Okay, so the Canal Saint-Quentin has to be this one. So this is the Canal du Nord. Now the Canal du Nord gives a penalty or an advantage to bridge demolition because we're right on the front there. This is the expected place. So +3, make it +2. Oh no, that's a penalty. Why would it be a penalty to blow up the most obvious place where the attack might happen? I don't know. Maybe the bridges are stronger there. So +3, +2, +1, I need a 7. And I can try this on the British turn. Okay, that does not work. And I'm not allowed, I think, to blow any other bridges because the Brits aren't in my area anywhere else yet. Okay, for the German turn, what I was saying is I have this reserve, and that's it. Now, from what I learned, I damn well better cover this. So I'm going to activate that area right now. Where else do we want to cover? We don't have any devastating weakness. I'm a little worried about the sugar factory. Can I get there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I could throw a unit in there. So I'm going to trigger this. I'm going to throw 1 unit down to the sugar factory and 1, 2, 3, 4 down to here. Now remember, zones are areas except where indicated otherwise. Of course, we'd have to look up every single rule to make sure that there's not some proviso in there about zones and areas. But for the most part, my memory tells me there weren't many. Like I can't remember a single one. So I think we can just ignore that distinction for the most part. But I can't be positive. Okay. So now we're going back to the British turn. Well, I get another shot at blowing that bridge. And I still don't. And now I got to figure out what the British response is. I really wanted to do, which is take this area with its big string of reinforcements, isn't going to work. I'm not going to be able to get there. Question is, do I want to take an activation, move a tank into place? Do I want to just assault here with 3, 4, 5 to 2, 5.5, 6.5? You know? Or do we open up our attacks elsewhere and try to push forward? We're not going to get those broad advances that we had last time. But so here's the thing. Getting this, that gives me almost nothing. That gives me some cav. I don't really care about cav. Likewise, Area 11 gives me some cav. I don't really care about that. I do really care about these guys. Why do I not care about these? I don't know. I can use them in an assault to improve the strength by 1 each, so they have some value, and they're non-divisional. But what I really want is this area. How could I get that? If I pushed my tank into here, 6, 7, 8, 9... I would need to use both rolling barrages to get not a breakthrough, whatever the fuck they decide to call it. So, overrun. So I will just use these as assaults, as ground support, which means 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 I could get against 4, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. I've got a chance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my tank up, and that's it. I'm not going to do an assault because only the tank could assault at this point. Can't add these guys in. And then if we break through here, we can continue on into there. And that's the British turn. Germans get to blow a bridge. They do not. It's going to be the German turn. And now we have to worry about the weather change aspect of the sunset die roll. So on a 2, we'd get this. I have to roll because I didn't roll a combat roll. Last time it didn't really matter, and we don't get it. The Germans don't really feel too threatened. I could move these guys though. 1, 2, 3, 7. I can't get them there in time, so we'll just pass. We've got kind of the defense we want, but in our pass we get to roll another attempt to blow the bridge. And we're back to the Brits. So we want to gun it all here. We're not going to get the breakthrough. We don't have enough movement points. But we're just going to toss everything in here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 4, 5, 6. Wait. We screwed up the defense value. It's fresh units. Fresh units. Probably screwed it. Alright, so, you know. So we're looking at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 4, 8.5. I'm at plus 4, essentially. 4, no, plus 3.5. That gets me to 8.5, that's 6 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can save 1 unit. Cover this or this. This is the more important location. 2 units dead. One of them is just a garrison. Brits gain space. And yes, now I'm cheating in favor of the Germans. Not by as much, though. Probably an extra hit everywhere. We'll see. Okay, from what I've been told, it's hard for the Brits to get anything like historical advances. Germans try to blow that bridge again. They fail. It's going to be their turn. I got to think. Anything I want to do with the Germans? Anything I got that can cover. So I could cover this area. That might be worthwhile. Oh, all the British tanks. Where's the lead unit? All this goes away. I could also pull out of here, but this is expensive to move through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to pull this down here to help cover that. That leaves a hole here. That's dangerous. But I feel like I need to defend against this because this is where the weight's kind of hitting right now. Oh, forgot to roll for the weather. Germans try to blow that bridge again. Hey, they finally get it. Now I can replace the missing bridge. I should draw a little fake bridge on here. And I think we're on the British turn again. I've got to do some calculations and figure out where the hell I've got a chance. I really want to get this space. I don't see a way that the Germans can attack all this armor here. Granted, it doesn't add up. It's 3, 7, but still, the defensive factors here are enough, so we're going to activate this space to go in here. All I got is a plane left. So I'm at 3, 4, 5, 6 against 6.5. I've got the disadvantage, but if I can get a good roll here, something nice happens. So I am essentially at -0.5. And -0.5 is not good at all. That would be a repulse. Now, the nice thing about attacking is if we look up repulse, I think I'm just all damaged, which is only 3 hits. I took a much higher hit here. Yep. Now, since I was trying to move in, this was a mandatory assault, I'm thrown back, but I'm not hurt as badly as I would have been if, you know, the die rolls were where they were supposed to be. Unfortunately, I didn't hurt the Germans at all. I would have liked at least a push so I could stay in there or whatever. Looks like that puts it over to the German side again. Germans slid over to protect the sugar factory region. Part of the British concentrating down here has given the Germans the ability to defend over there. Of course, the assault's not happening along the line at all times. It's just in little piecemeal bits here and there. That's the way the area impulse system just tends to work. And that's what it ends up feeling like. I don't know how accurate it is. Then again, I don't know how accurate Men of Iron is, which uses, you know, somewhat similar kind of, not quite time as we know it. For the Brits, you know, I want to trash some German units, because that's one of my goals, kill German units. So I'm going to launch into here. I'm not going to throw everything in, but I'm going to throw the big one tank in, just because of that big plus 2, really. Plus 3 because I get an extra unit to the die roll. It's worth, I think, throwing one in. These others I can keep behind and funnel them into areas I want to assault into. So here we're looking at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm not going to be able to break through. 12 to 8.5. This thing doesn't really help me. 12 to 8.5 means I'm at plus 3.5. Oh, crappies. 9.5. Well, essentially we got 10 to 10. That's what the 9.5 means. It means we actually tied. So we have the push situation where the tank and the German lead unit are both beaten, but we're in the area for whatever value that is. That was a pretty bad roll for us. Germans not rolling for bridge blowing anymore. I have been rolling the British weather every turn, sometimes belatedly, but just if you're wondering about that. Now we put the gray dice on just to make sure. Do the Germans have something they want to do? So here's one of the things. This is a fairly weak area. An assault here is only against a 6.5 now. And the Brits could do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 6.5, make it 9 to 6.5 with the airplane. And the Germans are kind of weakened in terms of what their resilience is. But the problem is, if I back up to here to try to maintain a line, I'm getting a weaker defensive position, and the Brits can just keep pushing forward. So you don't want to give up ground in this. Advances in this front. Do we want to push? Wow! I've not been blowing that bridge for some reason. Well, on the German turn, they'll try to blow that bridge. They did not. Okay. I think that's it for them. So now we're on the Brits again. What do the Brits want to do? Is there an area they really want to grab? They don't have to worry about the Hague roll this turn, but they have to worry about it next turn, and they have to get this area now, and across the canal. So I think launching into here doesn't seem like a bad idea. Although 8.5, 9.5, 3, 4, 5, yeah, except that the numbers don't work. We didn't get a good bombardment in there. How about blowing into the bridge here? 4, 7.5. I think we can actually afford, not while this isn't tied down, because then this territory could fall. Is that bad? Do I have anything coming in area K? I have nothing that must come in area K. So what I'm worried about is a German strike down into here, threatening my reinforcements when I'm trying to threaten the German reinforcements. Alternatively, I can just try to pound this again. I can't move an armor up to any effectiveness. That would be a wasted action. I hate losing my infantry, though. Fatiguing my infantry is terrible. What about an attack into here? This doesn't look all that strong. I can send the 20th into here. 3, 4, 5. Huh. I could get a tank over there. I don't know. They're different corps. I don't think that has any effect. 3, 4, 5. 6 for the air. To 2, 3, 6.5. I'm unlikely to win, but I think it may be my best move. In we go. And it's the 20th that can go in there. So I think I'm down a half, essentially. Down a half means that I get 5.5 to 4. I do 1.5 hits. That's this. In exchange for that, not a good trade, but we're lodged in there now for whatever value that is. And we made our die roll. Our die roll does not say the weather changes. I think I've been adding an additional die roll. You know, that's a really confusing mechanism, but I understand maybe why you want it. Hey, the turn's ending, the weather's changing, whatever. It might change some of your decisions that you can make after one die roll. But I think the annoyance factor of trying to remember to do that is too high. What about Germans? Oh, Germans get to burn some bridges first. Since the Brits are in here, I could burn a bridge. All right, we got to look up the bridge building rule, the bridge burning rules, because I don't know whether or not I can count this. That's a free area, but it doesn't have any troops in it. I think I can, but I'm not positive. Bridges are somewhere after the end of turn, where victory conditions are. Okay, I think this unit is capable of blowing it. Does it have to be an unflipped unit? I don't think so. So we're contested, friendly, controlled here. 2, 3, 4, 5, -1 for something. So we're at +4. Yeah, we get to blow this bridge. Not really sure I want to blow the bridge. That may be my retreat, but it's not really that big a deal. I can retreat across the canal. Oh no, I can't. Oh, I cheated on that too, didn't I? Maybe, I don't know. Seem to remember somewhere where it says you can't. But of course you have to dig through all the rules. A unit forced to retreat off the map into a fully stacked area or over an unbridged canal is eliminated. So I'm going to have to hold this location to save those units. Maybe I don't want to blow this bridge then. We'll leave it open. It's not that dangerous to me. This bridge we do want to try to blow. I don't remember my numbers. I think I need a 6 for that one to go. And I don't get that. I'm on 10, that's an even turn. I don't know what's going on. I think the Brits already went. We're on the German turn. I can try to blow that bridge again. And I fail. I'm going to hold my positioning, and then we're on the last British turn, and I don't know what it's going to be. What we're going to do is try to destroy these Germans here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 6.5 plus 3.5. I don't like losing my infantry, but I don't have time to bring the armor up. Like I said, plus 3.5. Okay, so we're at like plus 2.5, which is only 2 hits. I used this as my lead unit. German dies. And we did not get a good enough roll. You know, I mean, it's a fair roll. It just wasn't good enough. We didn't get doubles. Turn end isn't applicable here. And now we go to the end phase. Well, no, we go to the night turn. The night phase, where we read the becoming exhausted rules and wonder why they're there again. And we will do the British first. Okay, supply lines. Yes, we can trace supply with all the British units. Great. Hurricane barrage refits. Brits need a 4 or higher. Okay, I can't see this die. So we got one of our hurricane barrages. Remember, I have to use them. I used all my artillery, so I don't throw it away. I don't like that you can't stockpile it once you decide to fire it. But speaking of which, we're on the refit die roll for artillery ammo, which is 2 dice plus 3 on November 20th. So we get 11 points. I want it all! This is my assault. I get nothing there. What else am I doing? I forgot my airplane. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Infantry refit. I do not have any cav on the board. I failed in terms of that, so I can't refit any of my infantry, but I have tank refits coming across here. Let's see. There's a tank. Let's see what we get. We need a 3. Oh, yay, we didn't get it. This is tank E. And I got these nicely sorted now. So it refits in a damaged version. That's infantry. Oh, look at all this poor stuff. That looks like 3 tanks there, I hope. Doesn't really matter what they are. Okay, one of them refits, and 2 of them are broken. C and F take damage. But at least we got them back, right? Yeah, but this whole attack is stymied here. This is infantry, these are armor here. Get 1 back, and tank I is damaged. That looks like that. The infantry refit actually comes afterwards, and now we go to the Germans. The Germans get a die roll for ammo. That's 6 ammo. Now, am I going to need any? This is a hard decision. Do I need stuff? Well, November 21st, that's this upcoming turn, I'm going to be getting stuff in A and B or F and G. I don't think I need a counter-assault yet. Doesn't feel necessary, but there may be some dangers, like if this breaks. But I may be taking replacement points, swapping into a place like this. And if I can, I'll throw a garrison in there, because I got some dead garrisons that I can replenish. So this should all be good. I don't remember exactly how that works. But I don't think I need my artillery shells. We don't have tank refit. We get to refit an infantry. Well... That's not an infantry. That's crap. This is decent. This is decent. I think I'm going to refit that and end up swapping that out, because this will be closer to the units that I'm willing to swap out. Okay. Now, actually with that G, we're going to have a pile of troops here, so maybe the ammo makes sense. What are we looking at? We're looking at 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. Hitting, 8, 9, 10, yeah. I think we don't need the ammo. Then we go to end phase. We did not get any of the end phase status here. So this is the first turn, and we're going to actually pump this one up at this point, because it's a good stopping place.